Philip to Evelyn, 4 June 1944. Dearest, this is the first letter I have had a chance to write in June. I have been uncommonly busy these past 3 days, what with the company history, soldiers' deposits, PTTs, and various reports to get out. The days were taken up getting the work out, and the evenings, which are practically non-existent due to the long hours of daylight — it doesn't get dark till 11:30 — have been spent in pursuits which come under the heading of military information, and which consequently I'm not free to discuss. My inability to write these past few days has been a source of irritation to me, because I just don't feel right when I miss getting a letter off to you. This irritation was aggravated by the fact that I received no less than 7 V-mails of yours in that time, to say nothing of the 2 packages containing the Milky Ways and this stationery and Red's clothes. Before I proceed with the business of answering your accumulated letters, sweetheart, I want to thank you most profusely for the candy. The stationery comes in handy too. However, if I'm going to answer all 7 of your letters today, and I certainly mean to try, I'd better start typing to keep the letter from becoming too bulky. Page 2. Your first letter is dated 19 May. This advised me that you finally received the bonds. Seems we both had the same thought in this connection. How many will accumulate before it's all over? As I said before, Chippy, I hope not too many. God knows it's small enough return for our involuntary separation. Yes, baby, I still hope to see you in 44, nor will I stop hoping until the very tail end of the year. Gloria's picture, which seems to have impressed you most favorably, is no doubt a most attractive picture and must flatter her considerably. I'm afraid, Chippy, that the sort of thing you describe isn't the type of thing I would care for. A photograph, to my way of thinking, should neither flatter nor detract from a subject's appearance. It should be a true reflection of the most favorable view of the subject. This business of glamorizing with the aid of unaccustomed ornamentation, such as the false eyebrows, etc., in order to take the nicest picture possible, is okay for those who place show above integrity. For mine, I'll take a true likeness in preference. Sorry Sam and Am couldn't make it this time, but I'm hoping they'll try again soon. On the 20th, you complain again that riding in a trolley or bus makes you ill. This is about the umpteenth time you've mentioned it. Why in the world, if it affects you so, do you continue to do it? It was most considerate of you, Chippy, to keep word of Mom's recent illness from me, and I appreciate your motives, but I deplore the fact that she is so inconsiderate of herself and you, in that she is so careless about going out in clothes not sufficient to the weather. This is an old failing of hers, and it's time she stopped it. Next time you see Cadet Wheeler, if you ever do, tell him for me that he is right in some respects, but wrong in others. It's true that some of the Yanks over here have girl trouble, but they are the same ones who have the same trouble back in the States. And it's not because they don't have enough to do, as the cadet implies. Most of us have plenty to keep us busy, and ample divertisement of an evening. As for sending fewer but better trained men over here, he's ignoring a great many things. Does he think, for instance, that the Army is sending the untrained men overseas? Then, too, the cost per head and the scarcity of shipping space involved makes it incumbent on those who determine the outfits for overseas shipment to be very discriminating in their selection. It follows, then, that the personnel sent overseas do so only to serve a very real need. Thus, to my way of thinking, Cadet Wheeler's statement to the effect that there are too many of us over here is to use an Americanism, all wet. I don't know what he bases his opinion of the duration on, and I don't care. But whom are you going to believe, him or me? Page 3. In answer to your question about the chiclets, they would be most welcome, Chippy. I like to chew in the movies, and I have no preference between chewing gum and chiclets. In your letter of the 22nd, you say that Mom went with Mrs. Feldman to see Song of Russia, but in your letter of the 23rd, you make no mention of how she liked it. Please advise. The English expression is not, "You have it, chum." It's, "You've had it, chum." I'm sorry, too, that I can't have you in person, but you'd be surprised how close I come to it sometimes. Know what I mean? You say the pumpkin has an inclination to neatness. It was most kind of you, darling mine, not to add the obvious "not like you." I appreciate your regard for my feelings in resisting what must have been a very strong impulse. Not being of the same stuff as you, my sweet, I am led to remark on the fact that while riding on streetcars is usually enough to nauseate you and make you generally ill, I note that you skip into town to go shopping without any mention of ill effects. Ah, woman, woman. Next time you chance on something you would like very much to have, like those aqua earrings, and the money involved stops you, yield to that impulse, baby. Then write and tell me what it was and how much it cost, and I will make you a present of it. Truly, Ev, nothing would give me greater pleasure. Anything from $5 to $10 is usually a matter of small moment with me, and I can spare that much any time. So let's not be so backward about spending $6 on a pair of earrings you think I might like, shall we? If they're still for sale when you receive this, go get 'em. I'm wondering at the moment how you decided to spend that $10 I sent you a while back. By the way, what are the so many other things you need right now? That word you used as a synonym for being very fatigued, duped, is a new one on me. I believe you meant to use the more commonly used pooped, but I'm glad you're not familiar with it, 'cause on you it wouldn't sound good. Verstehst? Just stick to tired or knocked out or something of the sort, but not pooped. For me it has a most vulgar association which I wouldn't expect you to know anything about. And don't get curious. I like your idea in training the pumpkin to associate Daddy with my picture and love with both. Now, if she'll associate me in person with Daddy and love, we'll really have something when I come home. So far, as you point out, she may have a pretty good understanding of how Mommy loves Daddy, but she ain't seen nothing till she sees how Daddy loves Mommy. Hope she's not as jealous as you say she is, 'cause I'll certainly give her plenty of cause for it once I get to you. Not that she won't get her share of loving, but she'd better prepare to share me with you, 'cause while she may be the center of attention as far as anyone else is concerned, page 4, she can only look forward to half my attention. In practice, though, I expect it'll be a three-way proposition, with each of us gleaning his full share of love and affection. I'm looking forward to Sunday mornings with my two chippies, as I've never anticipated anything before. Heaven itself could hold no greater charm for me. I'm not forgetting my third chippy either in that connection. She is in the kitchen preparing that well-remembered breakfast of sable sandwiches, jelly omelets, and all the accessories. Frankly, I don't know of any other inducement that would be potent enough to get me out of bed at all of a Sunday. Harry's meeting with Mike Nirenberg is a lucky accident. I've been wondering about him here of late and would like very much to get in touch with him. Please give him my best regards and ask him if he won't write. I knew nothing of his mishap at Fort Dix. Sorry my mail was held up again, Chippy, but I'm glad you're learning to take the delay in your stride. Afraid you'll be disappointed in my Mother's Day letter, honey. You see, I meant the flowers and the cablegrams to speak for me on this occasion. I don't remember if I even referred to it in my letter. I'm truly sorry, baby. I should have known you would expect something special in my letter that day. Which all just about answers the answerable parts of all 7 letters. For the rest, darling, know that I am well, in reasonably good spirits, and keeping our date just as faithfully as you are. You are very close indeed when 11 o'clock rolls around, and you may rest assured, sweet, that in my mind's eye I am treating you no differently at daytime than has been my practice in the past. Does that make it plain enough for you, or would you prefer that I draw a diagram? Yeah, I know. You'd just love a diagram, wouldn't you? If I thought you had the slightest need of it, I might oblige you, but I don't, so I won't. And now, au revoir, dearest one, and don't forget to kiss Daddy's pumpkin for him. I hope that this has, in some measure, repaid you for the letters you didn't receive from me in the past 3 days. My love to all. Ever lovingly, your Phil.